Yo, what's going on? This man, Words Taylor. Salute. Salute to the Dream Builders. How y'all feeling? Okay, so listen, I want to keep digging in with you. So we're in part 2 of my 3D launch strategy, where I'm taking you through the first 3 steps that I do whenever I'm going through a launch process. All right, so I'm answering your questions. Someone told me, ask the question of, what does an actual launch look like? So the first part, in the last video, I said it's a discovery where you're doing your market research and you're trying to understand more about your audience. You're understanding and asking them questions about, how they feel. You need to understand the limiting beliefs that they're going through. You need to understand your value add, what's missing, what are the gaps in the market. You need to understand their pain, their pleasure, where they're trying to get to. All of these things are so important because this is how you determine, which is step 2, what you're going to develop, right? So when you understand these things, and I think that first step is the most important step of the process. Let me give you a quick example. Usain Bolt, he talked about how I trained 4 years to run a 9-second race, however many seconds it was, right? Trained 4 years to run a 9-second race. So what I look at is the 4 years of preparation. It's what allowed him to dominate when it came time to actually go and race, right? So I wouldn't put a time limit on how long it takes you to do the market research. As far, you want to be intentional, but don't put a time limit on, I can only do 1 week. It's like that 2 months that you prepare, or that 3 months that you actually do your market research and doing the things that I just named, that's going to help you dominate the market when you're ready to put your product out. I treat every product, any new product, I treat it like it's a brand new product. Any new idea, I treat it like it's a brand new product. I take it through the idea again. And I'm one that if I have to spend 3 months on doing market research, I will. I will interview people. I still have this on my YouTube channel now, but I will interview people, 5, 10 people, 15 people, it does not matter, because I want to get into their brain and understand what are the struggles, what are the things that you desire, what have you tried in the past and failed at, what worked for you but you just didn't stick with it. So, how do you have a problem with procrastination? Or I want to know the language that they're using with certain things. Why? Because once I know all of these things, I'm going to take that language and take these answers. And now we get to step 2, which is I need to develop an actual process that these people, that my audience are going to go through. And why is it so important? Is because the process must have the language that they just told me. Give you an example of one of my clients, Rochelle T. Park. So one of the things that we stopped doing was focusing on weight loss. We stopped using things like, I'm gonna help you lose weight. And instead, we started using things like, I'm gonna help you live pain and medication free. I'm gonna help you reverse these chronic illness and live pain and medication free. What that did was that started attracting the people that were dealing with diabetes, that were dealing with high blood pressure, that were dealing with obesity, sleep apnea, all of these things that people were dealing with. Well, once we understood the right language, because we actually researched the market, we interviewed people. Like I had Rochelle do several interviews with people, and we started hearing the language. People were like, no, I do want to lose weight. However, what's more important to me, I just want to be off medication. I just want to wake up and feel energized. I just want to have a good night's rest. I just want to not have my knees and joints hurting. So we're like, oh, okay, cool. So from that market research, now we said, well, let's go ahead and we're going to start using the language of, we're going to help you reverse your chronic illness, reversible chronic, any illness that can be reversed. We're going to help you reverse it. And then we're going to help you live pain and medication free. Game changer. The market research, step 1, help us to develop everything we need in step 2, the emails. All right. Now in our subject line in the emails, we can say things like, want to be able to reverse your diabetes, your diagnosis of diabetes? Here's how. And the open rates are through the roof because now we're speaking directly to the language that they've already said they want to hear. So when we started doing ads, we spoke directly to the people. Ads did well. When we started developing webinars, we spoke directly to the people. The slides that we did spoke directly to the problems and the gaps that they identified. All of these things spoke directly to them. The text messages we sent out, the content that we put out spoke directly to that. So that's why step one is the most important step. Now, in step two, now that we can develop all these things, what I always say, here's what you need to develop. You need to develop a funnel, right? And here's the thing. A funnel is just not a group of websites, right, together. That's not, I get some people be like, it's not just about the website. It's about the process, all right? The funnel is a process of getting your audience, all right, a cold audience that does not know you or have not been exposed to the brand as much as you like, getting them to go through a process where they go from cold to now a hot audience, right? Hot meaning that they're ready to purchase from you. Cold meaning they've never been exposed to you, so they may not be ready to buy anything from you because there's a lack of trust. And you go take them through this process where every step in the process gets them more engaged with you, builds the know, like, and trust, builds your credibility, builds your authority, builds equity with them. And then ultimately they get to the point where they're like, I'm ready to spend money with you. That is the goal of a funnel. Now, what's in it is, yes, there are sites that are connected, all right, together. They're very intentional in how you want to direct people. But also what's most important in this funnel is how you attract people. This is the part that often leaves people stuck. Because you can have the website set up, but if you can't get people to them, then it doesn't matter. So the next thing I focus on after the research is now, okay, let me set up my funnel and system, but now I'm going to put all my attention on how do I get people that are my potential customers in front of me every single day. That is the only focus in this moment. All right. So now I focus on what social media platform am I going to be on? I got to focus on what content I'm going to put out. What's the language that I'm saying in the content? Is there going to be, and there's three things that I do with my content. I empower, I educate, and I empower, educate. What's the third? Oh, entertain. All right. There's three things that I'm going to do. I'm going to empower you. I'm going to educate you. I'm going to entertain you. Okay. So now I put in those three brackets, I create content for all three. So that's why when you go to my page or my Instagram, you see a lot of skits, right? Because I'm going to entertain. And you also see videos like this because I'm going to educate. And you also see videos where I'm really encouraging because I'm going to empower. So now that I look at that, and it has to be very specific to my audience. Now that I see that, okay, my audience is taking this, then every time I put out a piece of content, I have a call to action. What is the call to action? A call to action means, hey, I'm asking you to now do something. I'm calling you to take action in some type of way. So this is important when you're trying to get people down your funnel. Two things I want you all to focus on. One is how do you get people to stop? The way you use your content and hooking people so they can stop. And two, once they actually stop and listen to the video, now where do you take them? How do you get them to move? The development part, these are the two things that should come out of development. You have mastered, all right, your content in a way where you can get people to stop scrolling and watch your content. And then two, you can get people to take action down the next step of your funnel. Because this is the first step of the funnel is me doing this content. This is the introduction of my funnel. Whether that content is a blog or a podcast or an ad or an email, whatever, this is the first introduction. Now, can I get you to read it or listen to it? And then 2, can I get you to take the next step in the process? And now, once I get you to take the next step, can I get you to take another step and another step, right? That's all we're doing. Even when you actually get the sale and people to come in your program, right? After they're done, well, you may have created another problem. For instance, I noticed that I helped some of my mentees, their goal was, I want to make 10K a month. Well, when they started doing that, I noticed that they were like, okay, what's next? Like I'm making the 10, but I'm stressed. I am stressed out. So that me helping them and creating success, it brought upon another problem. So I was like, well, the next thing you want to do is start to build a team. You want to get some help. Okay, how do I do that? It's like, oh. So now I can create another step in the funnel, right? I can create another step in the funnel that is now, all right, so let me do a training on this, and then I'm going to create a program for you all that shows you how to build out your team, that shows you how to create SOPs, that show you how to do the process of scaling, the automations and all of that stuff. That's the next part of the funnel. After that, okay, I'm making this money, and I'm at the point of scale. Now what do? Now we're going to show you how to invest. That's the next part of the funnel. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is why it's highly important to know your audience. 2, to get to the step 2 of development. So now you can prepare an entire funnel sequence for them. I want to work with this customer for the long haul. Sometimes we get so focused on new customers, which you need new customers in your business, but we forget that, if you understand your audience, then you can develop something you can work with this person for the next 3 to 4 years. You can develop something where you have a lifetime customer, where they're going to be with you as long as you did the right research, and now you know them to the point where like, oh, okay, you're going to need the first thing, you're going to need this, then you're going to need this, and when you achieve this, you're going to need this, and when you achieve this, you're going to need this. That whole process, as long as you're getting them results, they're going to stay with you. They're rocking with you. I have people that have been with me literally 4 years. You don't stay with a person for 4 years and not be getting results. It's because every time they accomplish the one thing, I say, okay, now you're ready for this. And it's not being a gatekeeper. It's because you can't give them too much. Because what will happen is now people will get lost and confused, or, I hate when Cheesecake Factory give me this 50-page menu. It's like, bro, I don't know when you give me too much, it's hard for me to make decisions. Procrastination kicks in. So I give you enough to conquer this level. And then once you've conquered that level, guess what? You've unlocked a whole new problem, and I've got new solutions for you. That is when you are ready to develop. All right, so in the next video, I'm gonna talk about the actual deployment process. So actually how I do that, the number of weeks that I'm in that. Listen, I actually dig through this whole thing. I wish, this is a short video, but I got a webinar that I do. It's about 2 hours long. I would love to have you on there. Only thing you got to do is click the link below. It's in the description, or you visit wordstaylor.net. Get on my webinar, and I'm going to break my entire 3D launch strategy down to you, exactly what I do, how I do it, when I do it. I'm going to even show you the steps and everything. So it's good. I got my slides out ready for you. So let's go, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Ugh.